guys, welcome back to my channel. Very excited to be back with you again today with another Reedsy Discovery book review. As you can tell, I am very super excited to be part of this team. So grateful. And if you want to check out my first one, I will put it right up here. But this one is for Rise of Dresca. Real quick, before I get into it, if you guys could like this video and subscribe to my channel, I would super appreciate it. That helps me so much. And that helps me bring more videos, more stories, more everything to you guys. So really quick, if you could. Thank you. All right, let's get started. This follows Valderys Dresca, who is a captain in a war between two rival kingdoms. One day he gets injured, then he gets saved, then he gets betrayed, and then he gets left for dead. And in the place where he is thrown to be left for dead, all of a sudden he is given these incredible powers, and these powers almost kind of take over him, take him as a host, so that he can then go and eliminate with a passion this infectious evil that is trying to take over the kingdoms, the world. And first of all, let me just say, dragons. I know everybody is just gonna like this book, just give it points because there are dragons in it. The dragons were very cool. I myself was most impressed with all the magic that was just thrown at us. Like, I'm serious. The first half of the book is just moment after moment of us getting inundated with new pieces of magic, new executions of magic, new uses for magic, things that Dresca can do with this magic that just kind of comes over him, and it is just, it's nonstop. It is one thing after the other that's really cool to read for seriously the first third or half of the book. I will say this, it didn't necessarily have a single direction. So the book was just that battle after piece of magic, after dragon, after betrayal, after fight. Valderys didn't at the beginning have a goal, and even throughout the whole story, he doesn't really have, barring that under this magic, he's trying to eliminate this infectious evil, but he doesn't have a set goal right at the beginning or something that he is like actively pursuing. It's more like the magic inside of him is summoning him. It's almost like the plot is this current that just takes Valderys Dresca and just drags him wherever the next fight is, or wherever the next, again, betrayal or piece of information or attack or whatever needs to happen. Valderys almost, not completely, but he almost doesn't have agency. It is the plot moving him forward. In fact, I would say that this entire book was a plot that needed a character for a vessel and just drags the reader along with them both and is like, keep up, because there's not a lot of character development. There's not a lot of character investigation at all. It's not character based at all. It is very much a plot and vibe driven book. As a positive, I cannot think of any scene off of the top of my head that I could say would be eliminated, like, oh my goodness, why is this book being slow? It was never slow at any point. Everything was always introducing something new. It was always pushing the plot forward. Everything always made sense. In fact, I actually wouldn't even have been offended if there were a few more scenes, again, just to develop some of this character, because I really liked this character. I liked Valderys Dresca, probably because of what the magic inside of him was doing. It was like, it kind of almost possessed him. It took him as its host. It was taking over him. And it was good magic, so it was light magic, it wasn't bad, but it also had like this drive, this fire, this insatiable instinct inside of it to just eliminate badness, to eliminate this evil, and to stop the people who were following this evil from harming other people. And there was just this like almost feralness about it, this like incredible capacity to fight, this incredible capacity to protect, but also this, oh no, this is not going to happen. This evil, this infectious, it was almost a disease. This disease, it's not happening. And he took care of business every single time, and it was really fun to watch. And so that's why, because I liked seeing that so much, it would have been so great to get a little bit more into Valderys' character. Now again, with him and with all the characters, there wasn't nothing about the character at all. It just wasn't a lot. The writing style was that way too. Like, you could tell in just the way that each sentence was written, there was no introspection. I shouldn't say no. There wasn't a lot of introspection. There wasn't a lot of how things appeared to the character or how the character reacted to certain things. It was ABC happened. This action, followed by this action, followed by the next action, followed by the next action. I will say this, I was not the most gigantic fan of the point of view changes that happened toward the end of the book. As I said, for the first like third, going on half of the book, we completely have Valderis Drascar's point of view. And besides the fact that he's in this fantastic setting that I love, that I'm not going to spoil, but it was just really good. We had his point of view alone for chapters and chapters and chapters. And then about halfway through, we start going into the point of view of these people that he just meets about halfway through. And, you know, I hadn't really made any emotional connection with these characters, and it was great to see in their heads, but I didn't really need to. I didn't really feel like that was necessary. It was so good to be with Dresca, and I think it would have benefited the book to stay with him more of the time. I feel like this introduction of the new characters about halfway through didn't do Valderis justice. It didn't do those other characters justice because we had so little time to get to know them and their motives. I feel like it would have just given the book more cohesiveness as a whole, especially at the ending, because Valderis Dresca is the one with the agency at the ending, at the climax. You know, he's the one who does his thing so as not to spoil anything. But we see it through another character's point of view, and it just would have been so cool to see that moment, that climactic moment, that peak moment through the person actually doing it, but instead we got it through another person who, again, we didn't really get a great chance to connect with. We didn't get a great chance to weave her into the story because she only appeared about halfway through. We only got a few scenes through her point of view, and she sees this happen, and I feel like it just would have hit home a whole lot more if it had been through Valderis Drescar's point of view, and I think it also would have helped with the pacing of the finale. Now, again, please do not get me wrong. It was a very, very climactic ending. It just, that specific part where it all comes together happened kind of fast. I feel like it wouldn't have felt like it happened quite as fast if it had been through the point of view of the person doing it. I know this is the first in a series, and I'm glad that it is, because there were a lot of things in this book that were just touched on briefly, but again, because the pace was so rip-roaring, it was touched on, and you got it just enough to like get this book, to get the story, but it really, really does deserve more looks at it, more explanation, more investigation of it, and I think that's going to happen in the future books. So I am definitely eager to see what happens in the next books, and I recommend that now, while it's out, you guys go check out Rise of Dresca by Tim McKay. Thank you again to Reedsy Discovery and Tim McKay for giving me a free e-copy in exchange for my honest review. And there it was. There was my honest review. I really had fun with this book. Thank you again, you guys, so much for being here with me today. I cannot wait to bring you another one. But until then, please have an absolutely great day and God bless. Bye-bye.